Hey, welcome to the Chronicle YouTube channel, where we talk to people that's doing extraordinary things with the community.
Right.
And we need it, man. We really do.
Right.
How you doing, Ron?
I'm doing good.
Ron McRae is with us today, and he is the CEO of Boyz II Men.
That's correct.
And obviously you're busy. Phone blowing up, and that's a good thing. And I'm going to tell you what's cool is that, if you don't mind me saying, before the cameras came on, someone called Ron up. Ron said, is Blank around? He said, the young lady was like, no, I haven't seen him today. He said, well, give me a call. I'm looking for guys that's unemployed so I can find work for them.
Right.
That's fantastic.
Right.
And this is off camera.
Right.
And you're hustling, man.
That's right.
Making sure those that are underserved,
That's right,
overlooked, and turn, and sometimes the community, not necessarily the community, but the system, turn their back on.
Exactly.
They have Ron McRae.
Exactly.
You deal with youth.
Right.
Tell us about Boyz II Men.
Well,
How did it get started?
Boyz II Men started, Busta, out of my wife and I's passion. We have 7 children, and we have 4 boys.
Right.
So, with that being said, we knew that we needed something to ground them. You have the church, but they need more than just the church.
Amen.
And the church should be an entity to help them to transition to where they need to be. But we need more than the church. We need our brothers in the hood to step up and assist them.
Boots on the ground.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So Boyz II Men started out of my passion to see that my son succeeded. With that being said, I had a lot of other kids in the neighborhood that just kind of jumped on the bandwagon. And my wife was in school at Wake Forest in divinity school. They allowed us space to come over and have classes. And so it started there. They gave us free space to come over and have classes that we can just sort of mentor these young men and women at the time to move through middle school, high school. And then after high school, it dawned on us, what are they going to do? And so Boyz II Men was started out of that concept.
Absolutely. One of the things I love that you do, you work with young people that have been incarcerated.
Correct.
Tell us some of the services you provide.
Well, some of the services we provide, Buster, is resume preparation. People need a resume. And a lot of people in our communities, they don't have a resume. They don't know what they should put on a resume. We help them with dressing for success. How do you dress for a resume? What should my appearance be when I go to an interview? How do I get an interview? If I get an interview, we help them to understand that you need to say thank you for the interview. You can send a correspondence. You can send an email. How when you walk into a room and you're interviewing with a panel, more than just one person,
right?
How do you handle that?
Right.
How do you engage 3 people on a panel? And so that's what we try and teach them, how to navigate the waters to successful employment.
Right.
A lot of guys come out of incarceration with barriers and they really want to succeed, but the doors are closed to them.
Right.
And it's really an unfair system because they paid their debt to society, but they can't find a job.
And these are young men and women.
Yeah. And we drive them back to the streets.
Right.
And so what Boyz II Men does is we walk with them through employment, to employment. And so we go out and we even broker relationships with some businesses to say, we have individuals that are ready to work, ready, willing, and able to work. And so that's been a great thing, is to create relationships with businesses that were willing to hire these guys.
Ready, willing, and able. They just need a chance.
That's right.
Right.
That's
and
right.
And it's good that you all are building those relationships, saying, hey, I'm going to speak on behalf of.
That's right.
Do you mind sharing some of the things some of these cats been through?
Well, you got a lot of guys, Buster, that come through the program. They've got drug charges.
Right.
They got caught with weed, or they got caught with paraphernalia. Right. And they were incarcerated.
Right.
They went to do their time, and now they come out, they got a felony.
Right.
And this felony just doesn't fall off their record because they've done their time.
Right.
It follows them for the rest of their lives. And so what we try to do is hook them up with other entities that can assist them. Some of them don't have the GEDs, so we hook them up with a SciTech or other satellite sites where they can get their GEDs. We hook them up with entities where they can find just daily employment till they can find credible employment.
Right.
You know, and so just teaching them the fundamentals of going to work.
And understanding.
Right.
Responsibility.
Exactly.
And what the workplace is looking for.
Exactly.
That's fantastic, man. What is the demographic? What are the ages?
Our age group right now, well, what we do is Boyz II Men is a mentoring program, so it kind of flows up. The demographic that we work with that's employable is from 16 and up. We have individuals, Busta, honestly, that come through Boyz II Men. They're not a part of the program because our program cutoff is 24.
Right.
But they come through because they just need the assistance of the organization to find employment. And so there's no real age range because we got guys that come in that we can just say, hey, here's a company that's hiring. And a lot of what we do, Buster, is we pull things out of the newspaper that other people may have overlooked. And I'll make a phone call and say, if I got an individual that we've been working with, to say, I got, Busta Brown here. He got a blemish on his record, but he's drug-free. And that's one of the things, we'll drug test you here. You know what I'm saying? We encourage them to be honest. If you smoke weed, you smoke weed, but you can't find a job smoking weed. Because everybody drug tested.
Right.
And you can't use someone else's urine.
Right.
Okay? And so we be real with them and want them to be real with us because you have to build a trust and a rapport. And with that being said, we call these employers and say, I got a gentleman here who's gone through the program. He's gone through all the steps of the program. And we feel like he's employable. He can pass a urinalysis. He just need a chance. And oftentimes on the strength of our word or some of the members of the board, the strength of their word, these people would give them an opportunity. And that's all they're looking for is an opportunity, Buster. And one of the things that's been great is we got a lot of them that come through that have children. We've created an entity that we're just getting off the ground, Buster, called Fathers and Friends. Because we want our boys to, you got to father your children. You can't just walk away. And so we're not just trying to connect the man to the job or the woman to the job. We're trying to connect the man to the family.
To the family.
So,
which is missing.
Yes, sir.
In a big way.
Yes, sir.
I love the honesty part, transparency. You know, saying, look, we know who you are.
Yeah, exactly.
Be honest who you are.
Yeah.
But you got to be willing.
That's right.
To change.
That's right.
You got to be willing to let go of some stuff.
Exactly.
And sometimes you're dealing with the parents too.
Right.
When you're dealing with youth.
Exactly.
Is that a challenge sometimes?
It is, Buster, because lots of times when you're talking about dealing with the individuals, the segment that we deal with, a lot of them were reared fatherless.
Right.
And they have become parents.
Right.
And so now they're in a position where the parent is back into their life or they've reconnected with their parent. And so they're just trying to muddle through what it is to be in a relationship with a parent. And so how do I be a parent and be in a relationship with my parent?
With my parent.
Right, who was never my parent.
Right.
And so that's one of the things, that's one of the challenges that a lot of them face is, how do I be a father and I've never seen a father?
Right.
And so you have to walk them through what it means to be a father, what it means to connect with your children. And a lot of what we do is a lot of the free events that we have in the city. If you don't do nothing but bring your children downtown when it's free, bring them downtown,
down, exactly.
And one of the things we say, man, stop by Food Line and buy them some juice and crackers, put them in a bag, because you ain't gonna be able to afford the food downtown.
Exactly.
But it's the time spent with your children that's important. And so,
that's what's up.
Father to Friends is up and coming, but back to Boyz II Men. One of the things, Buster, that is instrumental in the lives of these individuals that we work with is having an opportunity. And that's the thing that we want the community to understand is that all they need is an opportunity. They've made mistakes, they've fallen down, and it's like everybody keeps kicking them to the curb. And a lot of them have said, Buster say publicly, I went back to the streets because I couldn't find a job.
I know it.
And so, that's just a real reality. Yeah. And one of the things that we were just talking about a couple of weeks ago is that the guys, one of the guys, he was saying how I've paid my time and I can't find a job and I ain't gonna take no job less than $15 an hour. And we were saying, what is your skill set?
Exactly, dude.
So
they used to making that street money.
Exactly.
And it creates an unrealistic
That's right.
ego.
You better believe it.
Yeah, and you can't do that. You know, I'll tell you something that I find interesting. I'm from the streets.
Right.
A real tough neighborhood in San Francisco. And I grew up with a lot of drug dealers. Family members.
Right.
Right. And one of the things, Rod, that people that have not been a part of that lifestyle don't understand is that some of these cats, this is going to be a bold thing I'm going to say, and a lot of Christians are going to get mad. Some of these cats are almost Christ-like. They know I might die. They know I might go to prison. But if this is what I got to do to feed my family, right, I'm willing to make that sacrifice because I don't know anything else.
That's right.
Not that I'm saying it's good.
Right.
And I'm not endorsing it.
Right.
But man, the love they have for their family, right, their little brother, looking at their mom struggle. Exactly. They're like, you know what? If I got to die doing this, I got to help my mama. That's it. Then something goes wrong. Exactly. They're incarcerated. And they get into a program like yours, and they tell that story. That's right. They say, man, I didn't know nothing else. That's exactly. That's not who I am. That's right. That thing that's on my record, that's not who I am. That's right. And then you take them through the program. You get them all the mentoring and the help they need. That's right. And thank God they have programs like yours. They can say, look, we talked to this cat. That's right. He's ready. That's right. Give him a chance. That's exactly. And, you know, because I see too many cats that I grew up with that are good dudes, yes, man. Good dudes, yes, but that's all they knew. That's it. You know, didn't have a dad, and the dad they did have is the one that introduced them to the game. Exactly. Moms didn't understand because the first time her bills being paid. That's right. So she's like, hey, do what you got to do to help mama. That's right. And so, you know, sometimes they're a product of their environment. That's exactly. And don't know any better. So this is a good thing that you're doing. What are some of the other challenges that you come against dealing with young people?
I think one of the challenges in the aspect of individuals that are work ready, getting individuals work ready, is you have to change the minds of the next generation. And that's our motto, changing the minds of the next generation. Because if you don't change their minds, they'll always remain the same. Right. There has to be a mind change. Right. They have to know that they can do better. And one of the things that we try and show them, these guys, some of them that were out there selling drugs, they were able to count money faster than a machine. You know what I'm saying? And so you got some characteristics that need to be cultivated to help you find employment. Right. You may want to find, you know, banks don't want you in the bank, but you may want to find your niche as an entrepreneur. Right. And that's one of the things we have. A couple of people that are entrepreneurs, and I can call their names. Jamal Fleming has his own landscape company. You know, phenomenal. Right. I mean, doing great work. You know, and so that to me is just a positive thing. When he came out of incarceration and went through the program and got himself together. Hey man, I can do something. I'm a leader. He said his thing was, man, I was the leader on the block, right? And now he's the entrepreneur on the block. And all his friends are seeing that he's transformed, he's changed. Right. And now he's employing. That's exactly right. That's deep. Last summer, he had 3 guys working with him. Wow. Man, that's great. And that's a great feeling. That's what's up, Jamal. That's serious, man. Yeah. Where do we go? What is your ultimate goal for the cats you're working with? They're employed. They have the vision. They're on board. What is the ultimate goal? What would you like to see? I would like to see, my ultimate goal for individuals that come through the program is, yes, to find sustainable employment, but to find adequate housing. Housing is a problem for guys coming through the program because nobody will rent to them. Right. So we got to have people that are willing to rent to them once they get themselves together. You know, they can get something in their name. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so our ultimate goal is to see them become self-sufficient. That you're not draining the system, you're not pulling on the system, but you're doing your part. Child support people aren't running you down because you're paying child support. Right. You're spending time with your children. So it's the holistic approach that we're after to see that the people that come through our program, that they really do succeed, not just in finding employment, because it doesn't end there. Right. You know, it's not about finding a job, but can you keep a job? Right. What does it take to keep a job? Because anybody can find a job, but can you keep it? Can you keep it? Yes, sir. Can you get up at 7 o'clock in the morning and be to work by 8? Or like we have an individual that they changed his schedule. He was coming to work at 8, but they moved it back to 7 because he was working for the city of Winston-Salem, and they said, "Hey, we want to beat the heat. You know, can you transition? You know, when the company transition, or are you going to be dragging your feet?"
Yeah,
and so it's about changing the mindset. And so I like to see individuals succeed when they've changed their minds and they understand that stinking thinking didn't get me anywhere. So,
I like that stinking thinking.
Yeah, so.
What can we do as a community to help Boyz II Men? Do you need volunteers? Like, what do you need from the community?
We need mentors.
Okay.
We have a collaboration with Winston-Salem State for the younger guys.
Right.
To be mentors to them.
Okay.
But to the individuals that are grown men that are looking for employment,
right,
we need mentors.
mentors.
Brothers who will be real, you know, and not look at them in a condescending way because you drive up in your Beamer, your Lexus, but look at them and say, yes, I've made it, but you can make it as well.
Right. Sharing their bottom.
That's exactly right.
If you share your bottom, and they know you've been there too.
That's it. That's exactly
everybody
right.
has one.
That's right, brother.
No matter how deep it goes, everybody
right.
has a bottom. And a lot of times the most successful people, we don't like to share our bottom because we only want you to know where I am.
That's exactly right.
I'm Judge Blank. That's all you need to know.
That's right.
And I am Dr. This, and don't you forget it, and that's it.
Yeah.
But Doctor and Judge, tell us how you got there.
That's exactly right.
Right. And that's what gives a lot of brothers and sisters hope. Maybe not to be a judge or a doctor, but to know I can do something.
That's exactly right.
If you did that.
We often say, Busta, that it's more than just letting people see your glory. They have to know your story.
They have to know your story.
And when people really know your story, I've not always been here. You know, I've not always drove what I drive or wear what I wear. You know, and they understand your story.
Right.
That's an amazing thing. And the guys that come through, because we believe in education. But I've come to understand, Busta, that college is not for everybody.
Nope.
And that was one of the things that I had to change my thinking about, because I wanted everybody to go get a college education. And college is not for everybody.
Right.
There are individuals that just want an honest craft. I just want to be able to work. And so that's what it's about.
And when they can master that craft, the rest is history.
That's exactly
You know, I teach a radio and communication and character building course. And one of the things I do, even with young people, some young people may never speak a certain way.
Right.
So one of the things we have to teach our brothers and sisters is that if the how's not going to be there, how you speak, it's what you say that matters.
That's exactly
If you inform yourself on what, you know, the rest is history.
That's exactly
you can walk. Let's say if you have to take a dishwashing job,
that's it.
And you do your research on dishwashing. You go in there with the right thing to say, you got that job. Because the average person with your knowledge won't know that.
That's exactly right.
Right. And we got to stop beating them up saying, if you don't speak this way or speak that way, you're not going to. No. If you know what you're supposed to do, and you research what you're supposed to do, you can be just as successful as anybody else.
One of the things that we do, Buster, is transition steps.
Right.
How do you get from where you are to where you want to be? And we make them write it down. And the phenomenal thing about writing things down, it's like a vision board.
Right.
The phenomenal thing about writing things down is that it illuminates your mind.
You get to see it.
How do I get there? You know, I don't just imagine I'm going to go from here to there.
Right.
What are the steps that I have to take?
That's right.
You know, I have to get my GED. What do I have to do next? You know, I may have to go take some classes in order for me to get that job right there. You got to have steps.
That's right.
And once they see the steps and you let them know that you can do these steps, I mean, man, their confidence level just rises.
It rises.
You know, and you got a lot of them that thought that the only thing that they can do is play ball, you know. And when school was over and the dream was deferred,
it comes to hopelessness.
Yeah. And you set into hopelessness. We went on a trip a couple of years ago. We took a group of individuals up to West Virginia. We were riding up to West Virginia, and one of them said, I've never been out of Winston-Salem. Man, it hit me like a ton of bricks, because my children have been all over, because my wife is from Georgia. And our children have just traveled all
Right.
over the world.
Right.
My youngest son has been to South Africa, and he's been to Japan.
Wow.
And so, you know, and when I heard him say that, man, it just really hit me like a ton of brick that we have to broaden the horizons of the individuals that we come in contact with.
Right. And I like what you just said.
That's right.
You know, we got to do it.
That's
And,
right.
and it's up to us, man. I mean, we're in a position now where we don't need handouts
That's right.
anymore.
That's
You know,
exactly right.
There's enough brothers and sisters right here in the Queen
Yes.
City that if we work together, we can get each
We
other
can
where
make
we
it
need to
happen.
be. We can pull people up.
We can make it
You
happen.
know, the other thing I'll say is we have to stop comparing our step to the next person's
That's
step.
right.
And it's another thing I like to teach young people is the only person you should compare yourself to is the person in the mirror.
Amen.
You know, the person you
I
were
like that.
yesterday.
I like that.
That's the only person.
I like that.
You know, if you got an F and you finally got a D, and you know your work ethics,
That's right.
and you know you didn't care about school that much, but you finally got at least a D, don't compare it to the person that just got accepted into Harvard.
That's right.
You can't do that.
That's right.
Their step is great, and your step is great.
That's right.
Right? If you took that F to a D, you can get that C.
That's right,
You
bro.
can.
That's right.
If you focus on your step.
That's right.
Then you can get that B
That's
and
right.
possibly that A. If you focus on your steps.
That's right.
And don't compare it to the next
That's
person.
right.
And that's the thing we got to teach our young people is, and a lot of times, even in church, that's why they get so discouraged. Is that the church sometimes beat up the kids.
Right.
Did you hear about such and such?
Right.
He going to Harvard.
Right.
And this kid finally happy that he got accepted into a community college.
That's exactly right.
And on his way to church, him and his mom were excited that he has never worked hard,
That's right.
never cared about school, finally found him his way.
That's right.
And he's on the church and they're encouraged. And then, hey, guess what? Right.
We got to do better.
We got to be better with
We gotta
with
do
the
better.
blanket message.
That's right.
About what success
That's
is.
right.
Success is whatever. If you take one step, that's success.
That's right.
One step towards something you've never done, that's success. And so I'm glad to see you doing what you're doing, man. And Ron, and keep Boyz II Men, you know, moving forward.
That's right.
And whatever I can do to help, I'm there, man.
Busta, we appreciate it.
Yes.
One of the guys that, you know, I know we're concluding, but Nigel Austin has a book out called Success.
Right.
And we went through that book. And one of the things he says in that book is, go as far as you can see. And when you get to that place, look again.
Look again.
And
that's good.
Oh, that to me is phenomenal.
That's
because
good.
you may not be able to see the end of the journey, but go as far as you can see. And when you get there, look up.
Look up.
And you can go a little bit further.
keep going.
That's what we just want individuals to be encouraged, and I just want people to know about Boyz II Men, the portion of Boyz II Men that are now beginning to put people to work, and that's a major thing.
That's
and,
it.
for those of you that have barriers and challenges to employment, whether it be your high school diploma, whether it's your you've been incarcerated, you got a felony, and just can't find a job, or whether it's your driver's license. A lot of brothers don't even have a driver's license.
Right.
And for me and my generation, that was a rite of passage.
Yeah, it was.
You know, and so, but a lot of brothers don't even have driver's license.
Right.
And so we help you to get through those barriers. And that's what part of Boyz II Men's mission is, just helping individuals get to the next level.
Good stuff. Ron McRae, God bless you, man.
Busta Brown, thank you, man.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for this opportunity.
Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Ron McRae, Boyz II Men.